El Henshaw here again, your friendly local constitutional coop in California, with another video on current events. And this one is going to cover, all the redistricting and things they're doing across the country now to try to get more Democrats or Republicans, elected into office and this, that, and the other. Especially true in Texas right now. But you're going to find out that none of it matters, and it never has, at least since July 28th, 1868, because the Reconstruction. I mean, the whole thing is a mess. It goes back to the Civil War and Reconstruction. And yes, Texas does have 40 members in the House of Representatives. That's true enough. But when you understand the racial representation principle set forth in Article 1, Section 2, and realize, that Texas should have about 750 members in the House of Representatives. And they don't have them. And in California, we should have close to 100. We don't have them. And this is a lot more than numbers, by the way. A lot more than just mere numbers. And this is what we need to have for a variety of reasons. As you'll learn, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. And this in concert, by the way, this issue will go a long way to getting a lot of government restored to the state level and even the county level. And Trump, with the stunning executive order that I've been discussing, understands exactly what I'm talking about. Most of the government needs to be on at least the state level, and county most particularly with regard to education. Because they're not teaching anybody anything in education. They didn't teach me a damn thing all those decades ago outside of Washington, D.C. when I was in school. Better education in a lot of ways, though. Not all this transgender crap and LGBTQ and 14th Amendment nonsense. And that's what's wrong with the people, because you're invoking the war powers of Congress when you try to assert rights like that. And that's what can't happen. By the way, a quick note there, you watch when all these official actors show up online and are talking on the video or they're taking pictures of them, and you notice the flags in the background, typically they'll have the yellow fringe around them. The Attorney General of the United States has recognized that for exactly what it is, a military standard. But you probably aren't in the Army now, are you? How is it that military power has control in sovereign, independent states? That can't happen. And with Trump, now on cue with me saying exactly the same thing as the president, my God, I could have written it myself. And he'll be appointing judges and younger justices to the U.S. Supreme Court. And they're now going to have marching orders to start making decisions in favor of the federated Republican form of government of defined and limited powers that we're supposed to have. Not today, it's ballyhoo democracy, three bulls and two sheep voting on what's for dinner, aka elected despotism. No, we want to get back to the original intent, and that's exactly where Trump is taking us. It just doesn't get any better. And with control of that court, when the new justices come on, they're going to have to apologize because the Supreme Court has been very complicit in not doing its job up until very recently. About 2020, they started to turn around, not as quickly as they should, but at least they understand the problem. And that's exciting for all of us, and it benefits you, your children, and your posterity, especially when they get educated like they should be and they know their rights and can't be taken advantage of. So that's how exciting all of this is. So send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. I'll tell you about my program, my documents, what I do, how I do it. It's all going to make perfectly good sense, even though you're not going to understand a lot to start out with. There's not a lot of legalese or anything like that. You just have to connect all the dots. And I've been granted the divine gift to be able to do that. Much like a movie you want to watch about John Nash. called A Beautiful Mind, a Ron Howard movie. It's a very good one. Different setting. He was a mathematician in the 1950s doing things that nobody understood at the time, and yet they're still using his work today in mathematics. Well, I have that. It might have an expert acapella command of 230 years of the Constitution, history, and laws of the United States. And I can help you take care of a lot of business there, especially with, evictions, foreclosures, child procurement, syndicate, traffic court. I mean, you name it, virtually across the board because there's no judicial courts. And you'll learn all about that too. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. It's just a great time to be here. And, I'll be 77 here real soon. And luckily, I've got excellent, divinely granted good health. Had some rough patches this year, but nothing really serious. And I can keep on and help and teach you so you can teach your children and your posterity how to carry on and finish the job and get our nation and republic back. And I should say here quite plainly, yeah, it involves a lot of white supremacist arguments, and I make no apology for that. But that's the sovereign body politic, for better or worse, free, white, male, and 21. And it's also consistent with the history of the world. I mean, look what we did here. Of course, we've been here even since Plymouth Rock in 1620, if you want to go back that far. But 1787, when the United States was created and the Constitution went into effect and all that, and in 130 years, we bypassed every African or Asian nation. And China's been here for 4,000 years. Is that really where you want to go to live? No, it isn't. So that's what we want to get back here. And the good news is, if we do that, yes, they won't be members of the sovereign body politic and the electorate, but they sure as hell aren't members now of an electorate that we can prove does not exist. And when we get back to that point, everybody has creator endowed and alienable rights. To restore the Christian religion and a better Republican government. It doesn't get any better than that. To learn more, send me an email, youwinningcourt@gmail.com, and we can discuss what's happened to you even a long time ago, where you might think, with all this civil rights bullshit, you're lucky if you have 90 days to file a claim, and then the judge, aka Black Robe Bastard, summarily throws it out with prejudice to the cause, and once in a while people get sanctioned for wasting the judicial economy of the court, when what they're really in is an administrative tribunal. So once we start doing our jobs, and I teach you how to get out and do that, and teach your family and your posterity, and a lot of people are going to be doing this, that's a difference maker. And with old claims, like I say, you can go after them down the road for years, because there's no statute of limitations on deceit, fraud, and treason, especially since they don't teach you anything in the mandatory public education system today. It's not there. It's not in most law schools. And on that point, by the way, I want to make an open challenge right here and now to Irwin Chempelinski, the dean of the UC Berkeley Law School, to take me on in a Zoom appearance, especially in front of the students over there in Berkeley, where I started out my studies, by the way, 40 years ago. I could actually get in there, get the largest law library in the country. And I want to take you on. I'll make a damn fool out of you. If you either don't know, you don't care, or both. And we have a chance to make huge changes here that will affect the American Republic for the foreseeable future and bring it back to normal, what it should be. And how great that's going to be. There's still going to be their share of problems, no question about it, but much different ones and smaller ones resolved on the state and county level. Much less expensive, much more efficient, and you have a real voice with that body politic, especially on the county level. That's how great this is going to be, and how great those racist framers were in setting up this government in 1787. They maybe couldn't have foreseen a lot of what has gone on since, but they provided for it. And you're going to learn it. Send me an email, youwinningcourt@gmail.com. Meanwhile, remember to subscribe, like the videos, get the word out. The sooner we start acting full force ahead with our Creator endowed inalienable rights, the sooner we get the job done. Thank you.